Business this Friday, and of course we got football games played last night in the high school circles, and of course a big slate of high school games we'll be talking to you about today. Of course, we're coming to you from our studios on South Brundage Street in Troy, Alabama, and of course we're on Facebook out to all of the United States and actually into other countries. Is that right?
Yes, sir. And we're talking about football. Middle school football kicked off last night for Charles Henderson Middle School. And I cannot think of the name of the team that they beat. They were up there above Montgomery, around Elmore County, somewhere in that neck of the woods. Charles Henderson Middle School, they won 20-8. Cullen Stewart passed for 2 touchdowns. One of them was to Owen Pugh and his dad, Dax. And another quarterback on the other team, I think his name is Baker Pouncey.
The great
Ronnie Baker's grandson. He threw a touchdown pass and I think helped to convert their 2-point conversion. But Charles Henderson Middle School won 20-8.
You're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Mike Amos calling in from Grayton Beach, Florida. Of course, you're talking about this Baker kid, the great-great-grandson of the late, great Harry Baker the jeweler. And how many ball games you reckon he saw in his day, and how much support he gave high school and college games. I'll tell you something that I'm going to ask you. What did Harry Baker do that no other business in town did?
I don't know about the business. He probably got ejected at a Troy baseball game as a member of the mafia.
No, it's good.
I swear I bought Jody's engagement ring was Harry Baker the jeweler.
And one of the reasons you might have walked in Harry Baker the jeweler, now think about this. This is real business now. This is just solid business. If you walked in there to buy a ticket to the football game tonight, back then you could buy 2 tickets or how many tickets you wanted. And while you were waiting to get your tickets, you saw that diamond ring and you reached over and bought it. It was good business. And Harry Baker, the jeweler, was one of the great people. He's the one that gave the Jacksonville State Gamecock coach such a
Rudy Abbott
such a tough time. And he and the E.C. Oswald were a team, man, when it came to rooting for the Trojans. And Rudy Abbott got where he wouldn't even come out to change pitchers because it was such a route.
Yeah, speaking of Ronnie Baker, his son Brett, who was a store manager for Bonnie Plant in Colorado, has moved to Troy.
Great.
His oldest daughter attends Troy University. She's a beginning freshman. And
wonderful.
His baby girl is a 9th grader at Pike Little R's.
I'm so proud.
Yeah.
And
so the Bakers are.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Brett's a great guy.
All right, now.
My really good friends growing up.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this. One of the greatest things the Baker family has ever done was in high school football when Jerry Baker was a quarterback for Charles Henderson High School. And this really happened now. And they took a team to Enterprise one night, and Jerry Baker beat them 29-6. Beat Enterprise at Enterprise 29-6, led by a quarterback named Jerry Baker. And you know the great thing about it? Harry Baker, his granddaddy, he was born and raised in Enterprise. That's where he was from. His mama used to carry the newspaper down there.
We had some upsets in high school football last night, Michael. BC Rain defeated 5A number 2 Viger 20-7 at Ladd Peoples Stadium. And their coach is a fellow by the name of L.T. Yelding. He's coached under Steve Savarese, Glenn Vickery, and Kenny Keene. And Leroy defeated number 2 ranked and defending champion Clark County last night.
That's 13-0.
Yeah, Carver, they beat Daphne 27-14. So.
And another big win, Chancellor Hawkins would like this. The Alabama School for the Deaf, 38, Tennessee School for the Deaf, 6. and they play ball, and it doesn't curtail any football. They're a good football team.
Michael, I coached wrestling at Whitesville Road Middle School. It was a feeder to Troop High, and Troop High was a perennial wrestling champion in the state of Georgia, Troop County, led by Darrell Daniel. But we wrestled the Alabama School for the Deaf in wrestling, and to start the match, you got to touch your opponent because they don't know where you are.
Yeah.
And then if you ever separate, the referee will stop the match where you can touch.
Yeah.
Where there's some touch going on. And anyway, that's kind of neat.
Y'all are looking good this morning. I can actually see y'all again.
Man, I like to see you. Where are you, Mike?
I'm seeing you guys so far. I was on Zoom yesterday.
We saw you. Yeah.
I like it, Mike. I like
it. Rusty Witt, we could have interviewed him for about 5 hours.
I was very impressed. And Rusty Witt, if you're watching this morning, thank you so much for dropping by and letting us interview you. And I know you got a kick out of it. He's a true American, isn't he?
He sure is. At age 32, you joined the United States Army, and you were in Special Forces.
And the thing about it, he watched the planes fly into all those buildings in New York and Washington. And you know what he did? Next day, he joined the Army.
Well, it was about 8 or 9 months later, after he rehabbed his knee. He had knee surgery, remember? He was rehabbing his knee, and he enlisted.
Well, I'll tell you what, Troy University's strength and conditioning programs are in good hands. There's no question about it.
Yes, sir. Well,
you're in good hands with you're in good hands with Allstate too.
Yes, sir. See, Perry Green, your Allstate dealer at the Withington Group, right here in Troy. And, I can't say enough about my good friend Johnny Withington. Mike, when they wrote a definition of hard nose, Johnny Withington could have his picture next to it. He's one hard-nosed football player when I played with him. He was a year behind me, and but what a football player, Johnny Withington.
You think he could get on a bull tonight and ride it?
Well, he sure tried.
You can ride the mechanical bull at 10 o'clock today at Preston's.
Yeah,
that kicks off the. I read where it's the 31st annual rodeo.
Okay, yeah.
And we haven't had a chance to talk about Leonard Ray Dawson. He wore number 16 for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Let's see if Michael can name him.
What are you talking about? Len Dawson that passed away at age 87?
He was 87 years old? I didn't know that.
And last night, the Kansas City Chiefs, on their first play on offense, they were playing the Green Bay Packers in a preseason game, and they huddled just like Lenny Dawson and the Kansas City Chiefs. All the players are facing the quarterback.
Right,
the backs to the players or to the defense, and then Lenny Dawson's calling the plays.
And he won some Super Bowls, I know that. He was a great player.
He won Super Bowl 4. No, Packers won the first 2. Then the Jets won number 3.
Yeah.
And Lenny Dawson and the Kansas City Chiefs won number 4.
Yeah.
Saw a great picture of him on the sidelines, and he was on the sidelines, and he had a playbook. And while he was looking at the playbook, this is in the middle of the game, he's burning a cigarette in his mouth.
Was he really? In his uniform, and he was smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. Sitting on the bench.
Here's a little bit about the history of him. He chose Purdue over Ohio State based upon the offenses that they ran. He developed a good relationship with one of the assistant coaches at Purdue by the name of Hank Schramm. He started his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cleveland Browns for about 5 years, and then he went to the Dallas Texans, which changed to the Kansas City Chiefs to play under Coach Hank Schramm. Yeah. So they were together for about 25 years.
I'm going to try to remember some players on that team, but because they had a receiver, either a tight end or a wide receiver that was well known.
Otis Taylor.
You're exactly right.
Curly Culp.
The
Buck Buchanan.
Yes, sir.
Were some of the defense players.
How about the great middle linebacker?
Let's see. Well, Curly Cup was one of them, wasn't he?
No, yeah, but this one was too. I want to say he played with Kansas City.
I know Buck Curly Cup.
The
Otis
great
Taylor.
great middle linebacker. He played the college ball at Baylor. I saw him play college against Alabama one night. Mike, can you tell me who that was?
No.
And he was a great one.
He played for the Chiefs on the championship team.
Yeah. I'm thinking he did. I don't want to get him mixed up with the Bears. Like Singletary, did Singletary play on that team?
Bears.
The Bears.
Singletary played for the Bears. He played at Baylor.
Yeah, he was a great player. I saw them play Alabama one night, and Alabama beat them 40-something to nothing. The Baylor Bears. Of course, we've got some. Can you think of any more that played for the Kansas City Chiefs back in the old days?
I'm trying to think who the running back was.
Yeah, well, too. Me too. We might have called. We might have. I can't pick them out. Of course, in high school football last night, we had like you said, we had a junior high game. The crowd was parked all the way up the George Wallace Drive, a huge crowd.
Yes, sir.
And I wish they'd go and buy that property from me, and we wouldn't have to worry about it. They parked all over my property, and when it's muddy, it gets pretty rough.
Well, they park on Gibbs Street, or they park on
They park all the way to
the bottom of Crow Hill.
They were parked at the bottom of the hill, Mike.
It used to be where there was a curb where you could actually park on the other side of the tennis courts, right there near the creek, and there used to be a bridge that was built.
Yeah.
And you could cross that bridge.
Yeah,
and when I taught over there, when I carried the tennis players to the tennis courts, we would go that way. And then for some reason they tore the bridge down, and then we had to go by the sidewalk.
Mike, latest report on Troy University. Have they now announced a quarterback yet?
No, I mean, I read an article yesterday on TroyTreasures.com talking about the quarterbacks. Joe Craddock, the offense coordinator, had basically the lineup as Gunnar Watson, Jared Dagey, Peter Costelli, and then Quade Hawkins and Tucker Kilcrease. But, I mean, the way they listed it on TroyTreasures.com, Dagey was already the second string quarterback.
And then at the same time, I'm sure they would like to redshirt.
You can't redshirt Costelli. You could redshirt Tucker Kilcrease, the only guy who can get redshirted.
Yeah, well, it would make you feel good to know he's got 4 more years after this one.
Well, I mean, you would not think you would play probably this year with that many quarterbacks.
But now, Mike, they do allow a freshman to play how many quarters?
4 games.
What?
You play 4 games.
4 games. So I'm sure they'll probably play him early. Don't you think?
Well, I mean, it depends on. Do you think Troy can blow out anybody? I don't know if Troy can blow out anybody, but maybe Alabama A&M.
Blow out anybody, they'll put their number 2 quarterback in there to get him some game time reps.
I'll tell you this, right?
I would be shocked if Dagey doesn't play at least a couple of series against Ole Miss, regardless of how Watson's playing.
I will tell you this. Everybody's worried about how much somebody's going to play, but Auburn looks like they're gonna go with a big guy, Mike. It looks like they're gonna go with Finley. Have you heard that?
I'm not.
Well, Auburn's named their captains Owen Papo, Derek Hall, and tight end John Samuel Schenker. They are the Tiger captains for their first game against Mercer.
Okay, and we've got.
I mean, how many people do you think are gonna be at that Mercer game? About 65,000.
Hit and knocked down at the Mercer 14-yard line, and Auburn will take over on downs and will run out the clock. The Mercer Bears came in here tonight, this afternoon. What time is that game, Mike?
I don't know. surely it's at night with the heat going on, I would imagine.
Game Auburn fans gonna have a ball. My buddies across the street gonna have a ball. It's nobody. I tell you what, nobody sees Auburn better than the Wise boys. They got the best setup at Auburn.
6 o'clock.
What, 6?
6.
Whoa,
Yeah.
boy, there's going to be some partying going on in Auburn prior to that kickoff. And like I said, the Wise boys, my good friends, that they tailgate about as good as anybody at Auburn. They really have a great situation.
Yeah, latest news on Auburn. Hartson updates QB race, but won't say who or when regarding starter. So we don't know who the starter's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, then the next week, Auburn's going to kick off at 6:30.
Yeah. But let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody out there would like to watch Auburn play next weekend, just come on. You can find tickets laying on the ground.
Auburn, their first 5 games are at home.
Yeah, and but it is.
Yeah, the problem with that, Dad, is all your tickets are on your phone now, so you'd have to throw your phone on the ground for them to get your ticket. There's no paper tickets anymore.
So it would be hard for somebody to walk up and say, "Here's some tickets to the game." They won't be doing that.
I mean, you could transfer it over on your phone to somebody.
Yeah, would that be hard to do?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, you could I mean, it's one of those things where that's how we got our tickets last year, the Alabama game.
Yeah.
Most high schools are going to the gofan.com. It costs
God.
$8 to get into a game, and then there's an extra $1 fee, so it's going to cost you $9.
I'll tell you this.
Most schools.
If they wanted Mike Amos to see the game, I'd be in bad shape. I wouldn't know how to do that, you know. I'll say this: we've got had some good games last night. Mike, if something rings a bell with any of these schools, I call out. Let me know. Carver of Montgomery defeated Daphne 27-14.
They got the 2 studs. Carver does.
Carver's got those 2 great
Clay
players.
Russell and I can't think of that.
Yeah. Yeah, he used to start when he was like a 9th grader.
All right, another game. Southside of Gadsden beat Hoax Bluff 21-7. Who played for Hoax Bluff?
Hoax Bluff?
Yeah, one of the best players to play at Troy. He was a quarterback.
Jamie Hampton.
Jamie Hampton, and you know that school was located right there on Wicks Bay, up in North Alabama. Carver.
Oh yeah, that is pretty up there. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know that's the place where you go. Listen to this, Forrest. They stamp these fish. They'll put a stamp on them, and if you catch fish, you might say this fish is worth $2,500.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how they get the people to come fishing up there.
Hey, well, I'm going to go back to last week real quick. Here in Troy, Alabama, at Charles Henderson High School, we had a coach by the name of Keith Garner.
Yes.
He went to ARAB. He's in his last year of coaching. He's coaching at Brindley Mountain High School near Lake Gunnersville.
Oh,
I've been there. I've been there actually. It used to be one of my accounts.
They lost 43 consecutive games up until last week, and they won 26-20 over another school in
that was
outside
wonderful,
of Jericho. And so he got them off the shide, I guess you'd say. But
You said he used to coach Charles Henderson.
He was a defense coordinator. I think he was with Coach Fountain at one time. Then he went to ARAB. His wife taught at the middle school with us, and then he went to ARAB High School, and then now he's at Brindley Mountain High School.
Other scores.
Yeah, you actually go through ARAB to get there.
Mike, what is this? The school at the bottom of the mountain there, up in North Alabama?
Oh, D.R. Stevens.
No,
I mean, not D.R. Stevens. D.A.R.
Yeah, DAR is up on top of the mountain, but there's I'll think about it in a minute. Other scores, Chilton County beat Jemison 50-0. That was a big rival game. Parker beat Ramsey 34-18. Of course, Parker's got a good team, but Mike Ramsey over the last 10 years have been one of the best teams in the state. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I used to go to St. Mary's Episcopal Church right next to Ramsey High School in downtown Birmingham. They won a state championship, beat Opelika about 6 or 7 years ago.
Other games played last night. BC Rain beat Viger 20-7. Cordova beat Oakman 35-3. I want to say one of the all-time greats.
Bunch of coal mining schools right there.
Oh, yeah, that's a coal mining school. Cordova is, and Oakman, one of the outstanding Auburn players over the years went to Oakman High School. Monroe County, listen, that's a big win here now. Monroe County 62, J.F. Shields nothing. Monroe County's not used to winning, Mike.
J.F. Shields isn't either.
Yeah.
They might beat you in basketball.
Yeah, they're real good in basketball.
Mike, let me ask you this. What great basketball player played at J.F. Shields?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was a great pro player.
He's from J.F. Shields?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking J.F. Shields. I could be wrong.
I'll have to look and see.
I'll come up with it. Northside Methodist wins their second game of the season, and boy, what a game! 28-26 over Cottonwood. And boy, at one time they used to have great teams at Cottonwood. Name those big boys who used to play baseball.
I have no idea.
Mike, do you know who we're talking about for Cottonwood?
Yeah, they're famous for the Coachmans.
Yeah, the Coachmans. Boy, they were great baseball players.
Yeah, James was an All-American at Troy, and then Pete played in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Southeastern in Class 2A Southeastern 40, Raglan 20. And then we've already given you the score of the Alabama School for the Deaf 38, Tennessee School for the Deaf 6. And the big game, the big upset was Leroy. And of course, Leroy don't upset many people, because they're usually on top. But they beat Clark County 13-0.
John Drew?
Yeah, John Drew. You're exactly right. One of the great pro players of all time and high school players. And John Drew actually still owns some high school records. But where'd you get that information?
I just pulled up J.F. Shields basketball.
Yeah, he actually just passed away. I read an article about him.
I want to say this.
They said he was one of the greatest players ever to play in Alabama, but when he got to the NBA, he battled substance abuse issues, and it kind of ended his career.
He was a great player. You're right.
He played at Gardner Webb of all places.
Yeah. Well, there was another one that came from. I was trying to think of it.
They compared John Drew to like an early Kobe Bryant. He was about 6'6", 6'7". He averaged over 21 points a game in the NBA.
Or an Elgin Baylor. Y'all never mentioned Elgin Baylor.
Played for the Lakers.
Yes, sir. He was a great player.
Number 8.
That's right. He was a great player. Have you ever heard of Bob Pettit?
I have.
He was my favorite of all time in the pros.
He played for the Minneapolis.
No, he played for the St. Louis Hawks.
Okay.
And one time they beat the Boston Celtics for the World Championship, but not but one time.
Was that George Mikan that played for the Lakers? Minneapolis Lakers.
Yeah, I would think so. He was one of the great early players. And of course,
are y'all getting rain every day like we are down here? I mean, it's just raining every day.
It's foggy-ish right now.
It's
Makes you wonder. I was looking at the weather in Tuscaloosa. It's like 60% chance of rain for next Saturday. I would imagine Oxford will have rain too.
Yeah.
Probably will help Troy though if it rains, if they plan on running the ball so much.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and another thing about Troy is they're playing on an all-weather surface, and I think that's going to benefit Troy too.
I'd hate for that to be rainy though. That's such a great place to play. I hope the weather clears up by then.
I was going to mention this. We haven't had a chance to mention it, I don't think. Richard Cole, who played at Alabama, passed away.
Remember Richard Cole?
He was from
defensive
Cross.
lineman?
He was from Crossville.
Yeah, that's right.
When he played at Alabama, they were 32-1. He played on 2 national championships teams for Bear Bryant, but he did not win when they went undefeated 11-0. But
Well, I remember
Cole.
Richard Cole very much. You know, of course, he was raised
77
up.
years old.
He was raised up there up on Sand Mountain. And,
Crossville.
Crossville on Sand Mountain. And then, of course, right down the road were the Hanna boys. All 3 of those guys, they lived in They were from Gunnersville. And
Were they from Gunnersville, or were they from? They're from Sand Mountain. They're from.
Sand Mountain.
Yeah.
Well, they were Twin City, Gunnersville, and it started with a B. What was it?
Well, I mean, Boaz is on the way.
But not Boaz. The Hanna.
Yeah, they're from Albertville.
On Sand Mountain, just like Richard Cole was.
Yeah, Albertville.
Albertville, yeah.
Albertville and Boaz and all that are right. Gunnersville, Albertville and Gunnersville, right next to each other.
Let me see how much you know. Where did John Hanna play his high school football? And
He played at Baylor Prep up in Chattanooga.
Baylor Prep, the private school. You heard of that?
Is that where Fob James played?
Yeah, I think so.
That's where that's my brother-in-law went to their rival school. He went to McCallie in Chattanooga.
Hey, let me tell you something. You could tell who those rich kids were, couldn't you?
Yeah, I know. I tell my wife all the time. Like my brother-in-law, I think went to boarding school after the 7th grade. I can't imagine going to boarding school and not seeing my kids.
Yeah. Shame on you parents that sending them to boarding school. But now, you know, they would differ with me. They would say, "Oh, that was the best experience of my life." But hey, you had to miss Mama and Daddy a little bit.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing with Chattanooga. I know a lot of kids in Birmingham. Got some friends I've grown up with. They've actually sent their kids up there to go to boarding school.
Well, both of them are real good, schools, and they got a very good education. And
Chattanooga's a great town, though. It's a lot to do.
My son-in-law was a star soccer player up there. You know, soccer was a big with those private schools.
I'll tell you what, my little daughter Mary Prater's a pretty good little soccer player. I might have to get her to start playing. I kicked the ball to her.
I noticed that you got her a basket.
I've got 2 goals out in the yard now. I'm looking at them right now. We got an actual soccer field out here now.
Do you have any kind of indication of the fall? Do you smell? You know how you used to smell the leaves burning
Not down here. Not down here. I mean, y'all feel the fall way before we do down here.
Yeah, but
I mean, if we can get down in the 60s, I'd be happy, and that probably won't be for another month.
Well, maybe so, but up in North Alabama and up in New England, this won't be too long where the leaves start changing.
No, I mean, you got a chance on some Friday nights coming up here. You might have some 60s. You never know.
Oh, I know it. I understand.
You know, the dad who played the dad to leave it to Beaver, graduate of Baylor.
Oh, is he? Okay. Oh, yeah. Well,
I was reading an article the other day, as far as this upcoming season with all the transfer portals and stuff like that. Like, I was looking, at different rosters and stuff like that. And I mean, as a SID guy, sports information director, I mean, can you imagine what that's like? Trying to keep up with all these transfers and all these new players.
Well,
I mean,
to let everybody know that.
And then some schools will post on their, where these guys came from, and then some schools choose not to.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. Some schools will say where they transferred from, and some will not. But I was looking at Western Kentucky. You wouldn't believe how many transfers Western Kentucky's got.
Well, the number 2 ranked team in the United States as far as the getting players from the portal is the Ole Miss Rebels. The Ole Miss Rebels, Mike, have gotten more people from the portal than 17. They ranked number 2 to and one of those guys is a guy named Jackson Dart, who was the former Southern Cal quarterback.
Yeah, he beat out Kevin Slovis. Slovis is now the starting quarterback at Pittsburgh. And Dart is now looks like probably will be the starting quarterback at Ole Miss. So I don't I guess Clay Helton is now at West Virginia. He was his offensive coordinator at USC. And then Clay Helton was his coach. He's the head coach of Georgia Southern now. Yeah. So, I mean, everybody's everywhere.
Yeah, it sure is.
Stir the pot up and redistribute your deck of cards.
We've got several scores or several games to pick for in a few moments right here on our show. So stay tuned. We'll be back to Today in LA. How you doing, brother? Thank you.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick, find it in your Max app.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Here we go.
Back to our show, brought to you by our good friends at Troy Bank and Trust Company. Remember, Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need, and we appreciate them so much. And our good friends always, they seem like they always make sure that you're served right. And
anything you need, you can get it at
yeah,
Troy
you're
Bank and
exactly
Trust.
right.
Look at that, Mike. Look at that little girl.
There he is.
That's Billy.
Billy. Hey, Billy. Good morning,
Yes.
honey.
Sit up and say hey.
Good morning, Billy. What?
She was saying, hey, Mikey.
Hey.
You can't hear her because I got my earplugs on.
Are you having fun, Billy?
Yeah, she's in there watching she's watching all her cartoons.
Well, I tell you what,
Right.
she's a precious.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
And just happens to be my granddaughter, and I appreciate it very much. Okay, let's get
Yeah, you had to wait a long time in life to get grandkids.
Yes. All right, Mike, I'm gonna be writing yours down, but me and you.
I can write mine down. I got a pen.
Okay, good. We're gonna
I'll send him a copy by phone.
Okay, good.
Him and Jason.
Good. Now, is that your coffee or mine?
Oh, that's yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You brought me another
I
cup
hope
of
that's
coffee.
your hot. Yeah, that's the hot coffee
Yeah.
I just got. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing the best I can do, and I really enjoy this coffee. And Steve takes care of me, and Forrest takes care of me. I got plenty of coffee today, so I'm ready to go.
You know, one of the last
What?
things I do before I leave the house is make Jody a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I've never drank coffee in my house.
Are you
I
serious?
drink Steve Camp's coffee. That's the only time I drink
Forrest
coffee.
Lee,
when I
ladies
come
and
in.
gentlemen, they don't come to bed.
I don't drink any coffee. I drink Milo's too.
That's right, Mike. Never did.
And I drink it out of this big Troy cup my dad gave me.
Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get a kick out of this, especially you guys that grew up when I did. You know, I've been drinking Grapeco. I love Grapeco, and Grapeco in a can.
Yeah.
But the only bad thing about drinking Grapeco, it gives you a great mustache. it gives you it makes you have a grape mustache. That's drinking. Do you ever drink that grape
I
Coke?
do.
It's a good drink.
I'm a Sun-Drive fan.
And now, before we get going, we've got a couple of things you wanted to mention. Well, first of all, we got to mention the Calendar Rodeo coming up this weekend, tomorrow night and Saturday night.
No, it's tonight.
Oh, that's right, tonight. Excuse me.
Friday.
Tonight is Friday, and then also tomorrow night, and you can watch the rodeo. This is Championship Rodeo from the
Gates open at 5 o'clock. They start the rodeo at 7:30. Today at 10 o'clock at Preston's, they're having an opening ceremony you can ride a mechanical bull. People of all ages can ride it. They can tone it down for little ones, and that'll be at Preston's, weather permitting if it's outside.
I hope my good buddy is watching this morning. And, of course, this show is brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy. And right now they've got one of the biggest sales since they've been in Troy. And that's over 3 years. It's going on right now at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks right here in Troy. And also by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Looking for a career in the trucking industry? The place to go is Wiley Sanders Truck Line in Troy, Alabama. And, of course, we appreciate all of them. And, of course, they're prime sponsors of the rodeo. And this is going to be a lot of fun, the rodeo, either tonight or tomorrow night, whichever one you want to go to. And it's going to be Championship Rodeo.
Right. It's covered. It's got a covered facility for those of you who do not know. You can walk in and stay covered. They have a great concession stand. They'll have probably 100% beef hamburgers.
I'll tell you this, and you can define riffraff any way you want to, but you go to a rodeo, you don't see any riffraff. You see guys with a starched shirt and it's tucked in with a starched pair of blue jeans.
It's always a long sleeve.
And also some cowboy boots. All right, let's get going. We're going to do a few college games first. And these college games, will be official games for these colleges. Austin P at Western Kentucky. And Mike, Western Kentucky had the best offense in the country last year, and Troy's got to play them.
Yeah, I think the quarterback's name was Zappy, that set all the records last year. Austin P is not a bad 1AA program, but I
like their war cry. I like their war cry. Let's go P. Let's go P. And that's the war cry for Austin P.
Yeah, there's actually a line on this game out in Vegas on scoresandodds.com. Western Kentucky's a 26.5-point favorite.
Oh, boy. I would think Austin P would play them at least that close. I'll take Austin P Western Kentucky to win.
That's who I got.
All right, that's who Forrest got.
Yeah, Western Kentucky should win pretty handily.
All right, the next game is a big game, especially for Nebraska. In the morning, you can watch Nebraska and Northwestern, I think around 12 o'clock from Dublin, Ireland. So that's going to be a big game for both teams, Nebraska and Northwestern. I'll take the Nebraska Corn Huskers.
What's the line on that?
What is the line on
that? The game is 11:30 kick. Nebraska is a 12.5-point favorite. Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald's a pretty good coach.
I know, yeah.
This is Vegas telling you something here.
Yeah. Okay, UConn at Utah State, and of course this is going to be the team that Auburn plays next week, Utah State.
No, this is who Alabama plays.
Oh man. I'm sorry, I messed up.
So this is Jim Moore Jr.'s first game as the coach at UConn. Jim Moore Jr. used to be the head coach at the Atlanta Falcons and UCLA.
I like him. Yeah.
So he's going to try to turn UConn's program around. Utah State won 12 games under Blake Anderson last year. 27.5 point favorite.
Oh boy, I would stay away from it, but I look for Utah State to win. What you think, Forrest?
So I got Utah State.
Wyoming at Illinois, and the Illinois Illini is playing at home to Wyoming. I'm gonna have to go with the Big Ten here. I'm gonna take Illinois. What do you think?
Yeah, Brett Bielema had some upsets last year in his first season in Illinois. I think they went 5-7. So I'll take Illinois. They're a 13-point favorite at home.
Okay,
I'm going with Dick Butkus and the Illini.
all right, former great linebacker of all times. When I was growing up, when I thought about a linebacker, it was Butkus. That was Chicago Bears.
Number 51.
Okay.
What former coach that we knew pretty well used to be the head coach of Wyoming?
Pat Dye.
How about Vic Coney?
Mike, how about Pat Dye?
Yeah, but we probably know Vic. We probably know Vic Coney more than we know Pat Dye, or we knew Pat Dye.
That's right.
I mean, that's what a lot of Troy fans probably never realized. He was a head coach at Wyoming at one time.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, there where all those cowpokes are. All right, number 5 on our list is North Texas at Utep, and boy, I don't have any idea here, Mike. What do you think?
Well, Utep won about 7 games last year. Had a pretty good season. This is a very low line. North Texas is only 1.5 at Utep.
Oh boy.
The Vegas is telling you this is pretty much a pick 'em.
I think this is an improved North Texas team. I think I'm gonna take North Texas.
Yeah, North Texas was really bad last year.
Mike, wave to me. Mike's coming to us in the top right-hand corner of your screen.
Yeah, I got real dressed up today. I put on a T-shirt and a cap.
You look good. You look good. All right, who you like, Farley?
I'm going to pick UTEP.
Farley likes UTEP. First of all, let me tell you something. You're about to get by this on our show, but listen, what were you cooking this morning?
Well, it started Wednesday night. I cooked a peach bourbon bundt cake.
Yeah. Have you and your wife ate it?
No, I carried it to school, and it went like.
I bet.
Well, I eat lunch with some of the middle and high school teachers, and but they didn't get a piece. It was gone. And and I looked today's theme on Pike Liberal Arts plays Bayside Academy at home. It says the theme is bake Bayside. I said, uh-oh. So I got home and my wife videoed me. I did a video cooking 2 rum cakes. And then Amy Allen, our high school principal for the high school, and she's our guidance counselor, she issued a challenge. So she was in her kitchen baking, and she cooked a skillet of cornbread, and she showed that on. Yeah. I said, okay, coming right to you. Yeah. So then I started making a pineapple cake.
Oh, God.
So I cooked 2 rum cakes last night and a pineapple cake, and they will be devoured.
I dare you that one day next week when we start our picket shows, that you'll bring a pecan pie baked in your skillet. I dare you to do that. I dare you.
All right. Tell you what, those are pretty amazing. I've had one of those before.
Well, the apple pie is pretty sensational.
Okay, Vanderbilt playing.
Is it pecan or pecan though? I keep on hearing some Southern people say pecan.
No, listen, I'm in the wrong group of folks when I hear pecan. Make me a pecan pie.
I thought that was a northern thing to say, but I was watching a show the other day, and it was a cooking show, and they're from the South, and they said pecan.
Oh boy.
Well, when I do my bundt cake, when I do my rum cakes, I use whey pecans in the bottom.
Oh yeah, sure,
on the bottom. But I got my recipe from Salem Baptist Church in the Raleigh community, and it calls for rum. And so I use Bacardi rum in the recipe.
Okay. All right, but I tell
You just-
you what, Forrest Lee is a connoisseur of great cooking, no question about it. All right, Vanderbilt and Hawaii playing at Hawaii. Man, just shoot in here because one of these guys got to have some relief. What do you think?
I'm going with.
I'm going.
They've been
I'm going. I'm going with Will Matthews, Vandy Commodores.
I am too.
Golly, though, playing at Hawaii.
Well, circle Hawaii.
This is your try to hopefully if you're struggling throughout the day, you can win late night on Vandy. Vandy's a 9-point favorite at Hawaii, though. I do not like that.
What time is that game? Is that tonight?
9:30 tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, okay.
Mike, did you pick North Texas or Utep?
I picked North Texas.
Well, we got a difference.
The thing with Hawaii though is I want to say they fired their coach again last year, Graham. That used to be the head coach at Rice when Troy played them. Then he used to be the head coach at Arizona State, Pittsburgh. I think
he was the innovator of that great offense that they had.
So I mean, Vegas is telling you something. This line started at 6.5, went all the way to 9. So
Johnny Williams has got a game in Montgomery, pitting Jacksonville State and Stephen F. Austin. And what time is that game, Mike? I know it's
2:30, I believe.
And my good friend Johnny Williams, I might try to run up there and see him and watch some of this game. In this game, Mike, what's the name of the Jacksonville marching band?
The Southerners.
The marching Southerners. And ladies and gentlemen, they march over 500 kids. 500 kids playing their band.
I heard on
Pretty big.
WTBF today, radio today, it's the 100th anniversary of Crampton Bowl.
Oh boy! And
100 years.
And let me tell you something that Scotty Sowers always told me. Back used to when it started, it was a baseball field.
Yes, sir.
And Scotty says as a kid, he went to watch them play, and it was the Yankees playing an exhibition game, and he shook the hand of Babe Ruth. So Scotty used to walk around a lot and said, "Shake the hand of the man who shook the hand of Babe Ruth."
Hey, my friend.
You remember that? I remember
Didn't
that.
Auburn and Alabama play a game?
Yeah, they used to play
In
there.
the 30s?
Yeah, sure did.
Scotty used to always say, "Hi, laddie." Laddie is what he would say to me.
Let me tell you.
Give out bubble gum at basketball games.
You'd be at the plate or on first base, and you get distracted. He'd talk to you so much.
Exactly. Okay, we'll be back to more Today in L.A., and we're picking games, and we'll pick your favorite high school game. First of all, who do y'all pick in Jacksonville State, Austin P? I'm going to take Jack State.
That's who I got. Jackson.
Who you going to take, Mike?
Stephen F. Austin.
You took Stephen F.
No,
Austin?
I'm just saying that's who we're playing.
Yeah.
I picked Jack State.
We'll be right back with more of Today in L.A., brought to you by Sarah, South Alabama Rural Health Associates, located in Troy, Alabama, and many, many states stores out there.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, You'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Back to our show, brought to you by Little Caesar Pizza. And like I've said so many times on this show, if you're hungry, you're riding down the road, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, let's go by and get a pizza. And ladies and gentlemen, it's hot and ready and delicious. Sneaky Pete.
I think we've lost Michael.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get him right back. And of course, right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you from our studio, Troy Cablevision, and we hope that you're having a great day this morning. There he is, Mike Amos in the top right-hand corner, coming to us from Brayton Beach, Florida. Is that right?
Can you hear us, Mike? Does he need to call back, Steve? Because we don't hear him over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But back to our scoreboard show, and of course, we want to mention to you the rodeo, the Giant Rodeo starts tonight, and the gates open at 7 o'clock, and going to be a lot of fun for you and your family. And then again on Saturday, and remember on Saturday at 5, you got the Western Jamboree for kids, and that's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday. Just get there early, and the Western Festival starts at 5 o'clock. Going to be a lot of fun. Rodeo, and yesterday when we had the strength coach at Troy on, he said, "I'll take one of those rodeo tickets."
Rusty Witt.
And I gave Rusty Witt, so he'll be at the rodeo tonight.
Yeah, it's sensational, and like we talked yesterday, the most impressive thing is he's 32 years old, rehabbing a knee. He's watching 9/11 unfold. Yeah. 8 or 9 months later, he joins the United States Army.
Good morning, you on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Just calling back. I lost y'all somehow.
Calling in from Great Beach. Of course, Mike, if you were in town, you'd probably take your girls to the rodeo, wouldn't you?
Well, I'd probably take them to the Charles Henderson football game tonight.
The football game on Friday, but the rodeo on Saturday. But again, at 5 o'clock is this Western Festival, and what all does that include? Of course, there'll be all kinds of rides and everything.
They do a stick pony. I think they might do a mutton ride where you ride a little baby sheep or something, and all kind of fun things to do.
I didn't ask Jason if his girls were going to perform tonight or tomorrow night, but we didn't get an answer about that. But hopefully
they travel all over the Southeast doing rodeos.
Right, they sure do, and their girls are good, very good.
Wonder what Jason is hearing out of Auburn. I know he's a big Auburn supporter and fan over the years. I wonder if he knows who the quarterback's going to be.
I don't know. But let me tell you this, Jason's a Troy fan. He loves Troy now, and he loves Auburn too because he went to school there, but he loves Troy.
He's a Pacelli High School graduate.
That's right, Columbus, Georgia.
Auburn is the first 2 games you're playing Mercer and you're playing San Jose State, so I guess you really won't know much about Auburn until game 3.
I bet they'll play a lot of those quarterbacks and see which one gels, I would think. All right, let's get back to the high school games tonight.
Do we get his Jacksonville State?
Yeah.
Austin, which one did you pick, Mike?
Jack State for sure.
Okay. All right, Brantley at Highland Home, and that's going to be a big one. Located.
That should be Houston County. Houston County.
Oh.
Yeah, because Highland Home plays there.
Oh gosh.
And, Brantley is at
It wasn't my stupidity. It was listed here. Houston County. Is that right?
Yeah, Houston County. At Houston County.
At Houston County. All right, I'll take the Brantley Bulldogs. They're off to a good start with a big win over Luverne last week. Really outstanding team at Brantley.
Is Roland Jones still coaching Brantley?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
He's our good friend, Roland Jones. You know who Roland Jones' best friend is, Mike?
You always said it was Boo Weekley.
It's Boo Weekley, the professional golfer, and Roland's a good golfer himself, but but Boo Weekley and Roland Jones are best buddies, and Boo's trying to rehab and get back on the circuit.
I think.
Yeah, I saw he was playing in some Corn Ferry Tour events last year. Yeah, he's a guy that could probably, tear it up on the senior tour if he could get healthy.
Yeah, I know it. I'd like to see him do it.
Brandon has a good golf team too.
And last year's a great golfer is gone from Brantley, but that was Tucker Kilcrease. And,
Brantley was playing Houston County. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Houston
County, yes.
County, yeah.
Houston.
Okay, I'll take Brantley.
Okay.
I see green.
All right, the Goshen at Zion Chapel, and Goshen very impressive in their first win last weekend, and now I think they'll beat Zion Chapel.
They will fly high.
Okay.
I'll take Goshen.
And our third high school game is Mary Montgomery at Charles Henderson High School, and that game will be played at the stadium tonight. And of course, should be a big crowd here to watch Charles Henderson as they're looking for their first win of the year. They beat Pike County last weekend, 35-14 in the Jamboree. And you're talking about a tough battle here. Mary Montgomery is a Class 7A team against Charles Henderson, which is a 5A team. I'll take the Trojans of Troy. How about that?
I see orange and blue.
Orange and blue, but you know what? He's gone to a white helmet.
I don't know what you can really tell from that game against Pike County Hospital. I felt like Charles Henderson, from what I saw and what I've heard, they look good. Playing a team out of Mobile, 7A school, your running back apparently is injured. Could be a tough game for Charles Henderson tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if they got beat. I'll go with Charles Henderson in a close one.
Yeah, and Mary Montgomery is not the best team in Mobile, but they're good. So everybody takes. I took Charles Henderson though in that game.
They play Williamson down to the wire. Williamson's usually pretty good at football.
Well, let me tell you this: you can count on 3 to 4 touchdowns from one player for Charles Henderson, and he's going to score 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Don't you think they'll double, triple him though, maybe?
Yeah, but he's a wide receiver and he's a great one.
Jawan Boyd.
Jawan Boyd.
Adams to Boyd. Parker Adams.
Parker Adams, my cross the street neighbor to Boyd.
They had that other kid that transferred in from Tyler Lawrence, the Davenport kid. Isn't he a big tall receiver?
Well, I think he's at defense. I think I hadn't seen it. He played a little bit. I think he's a defensive player, but he certainly could be an offensive player too.
Okay,
they'll scramble them eggs up, get them right.
Bayside Academy comes to Pike Liberal Arts, and Bayside, they run that wing T, Mike, about as good as anybody.
Yeah, you got to go with Bayside.
But I tell you though, Pike, these kids have got a lot of guts now. They're playing with a lot of guts. They lost 3 of their good players this past week. But you know what? If you don't want to play with me, go get on out of here. That's the way I look at it. Hey, we're gonna go with what we got. And I like Coach Bexley.
Did y'all find out those kids are gonna be eligible at Pike County?
Well, no, tonight. I've heard rumors that they might be, that they made a bona fide move and they may be eligible to play against Strawn. If that's the case, it will be a difference maker, or could be, because of their size and speed. And we'll see.
Back Dino, or the guy you mentioned, was he on Pike Liberal Arts team last year? I don't even remember.
Yes.
His name
his nickname is Nemo.
Nemo, yeah.
He's got a twin brother who plays offensive, defensive line. He's got an older brother who I think is a senior as a defensive and offensive lineman. And they had an older brother to graduate from Pike Liberal Arts. They came to Pike Liberal Arts last year from Union Springs, Bullock County.
Yeah.
And they were instrumental in being part of that championship team. And after Pike Liberal Arts played Highland Home in the Jamboree, they missed a few days of practice, and lo and behold, they transfer out. And it's called the transfer portal of high school football.
I want to say if that would have been
that's everybody. That's that family's choice.
Yeah.
Just
Okay, Bayside Academy.
Well, sounds like it's good for Pike County and bad for Pike Liberal Arts. So I guess we'll see what happens.
I will have to take Bayside Academy Mobile against Pike.
I mean, Bayside Academy is what, 4A schools?
Oh,
4A,
yeah.
5A?
I think that I have to look. They're either 3 or 4. They play 6A in volleyball because they won like 20 state championships in a row.
Yeah.
And the way it works in the private school sector, if you are a private school playing in the Alabama High School Athletic Association, if you win, I think 2 back-to-back state titles, you bump up to the next classification in competition.
Yeah.
You win 2 more, you get bumped again.
Steve Camp is also with us on our picks this week, and of course he won the championship last year, and he really picked some good, but everything looks about the same here with Steve. He likes Charles Henderson, he likes Bayside, and how about Elba at Kinston? Who do y'all like there?
Elba.
And Kinston started off with a big win, but over Sampson. But Elba's a different story. I'll take Elba.
Kinston's got a quarterback.
Against Follow, we know 100% all these games count now going forward.
They
That's
are.
right, they do.
That's the tough thing about last week.
Yeah, and
Kinston's got a 3-sport star. He's a quarterback. Sumlin.
yeah, that's right. That
He's about
name,
6'5", 6'6".
that name
He's
is
a
very
senior
well
this
known
year.
in Kinston circles. You know, the orange and blue of Kinston.
I'll take Elba. I can't believe Elba's 1A. That still doesn't ever even seem right.
That's right. They've been 1A for about 3 or 4 years
Yeah,
now.
all right. Here we go. Auburn High School at Enterprise. That game can be seen tonight on live on Facebook.
It's going to be live on Troy Cable.
Troy Cable. That will go. That you go to TC2 on your dial.
Tonight, there's 2 live football games that Troy Cable and C Spire will televise. One game is Ayrton at Highland Home, and the other game is Auburn at Enterprise. One will be on Channel 2, and the other will be on Channel 17.
So if you can't get out to the ball game tonight, this Auburn at Enterprise is going to be one of the state's top games, and it will be televised on Troy Cable. And I'm going to take Auburn.
I'll take Auburn as well. I mean, Ben Blackman had a great first start against Bay out of Panama City, but Auburn really beat somebody really good. They beat Hoover, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. And now, am I mistaken by saying Auburn was the defending state champion?
You are mistaken,
I am.
Yeah, Auburn did not win state championship.
Who did?
Wasn't it Thompson?
Did Thompson win it?
7A.
Okay.
6A was Clay Chalkman.
Or does everybody take Auburn?
Auburn High School coached by, I think it's last name Etheridge, used to be the head coach at Leeds High School.
Okay, yeah.
State championship there.
All right, Steve took Auburn. And,
I'm taking Auburn. The Tigers over the Wildcats.
so everybody took Auburn, Mike. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
think you got to. I mean, they just beat Hoover.
All right, Luverne at Geneva County. Luverne coming off a tough loss last week to Brantley, playing at Geneva County. And the wide receiver, the great tailback who played last year, is lining up at wide receiver for the University of Alabama. I know, but he's now a wide receiver. He's now a wide receiver at Alabama, where he was a great.
You're talking about Emmanuel Henderson.
Emmanuel Henderson, yeah.
I'm going to pick.
I'll take Geneva County.
I'm going to take Luverne.
Yeah.
The Tigers.
Yeah, but they're playing at Geneva County, and I don't know what Geneva County's got, but I'm going to take them. I'm going to take Geneva County to upset Luverne.
What's who Steve picked? He picked Luverne.
Steve, yeah, we got to watch closely. And Steve, he'll sneak up on you here. He likes Luverne.
As far as Luverne, didn't he get blown out by Brantley and Barongo?
Yeah, they sure
they did.
did.
They
Sure did.
They did.
And
But who's Brantley not going to blow out?
Geneva
Yeah.
County is 2A as well.
They are. I believe so.
Yeah.
I think they were stayed in that same classification.
Boy, that's a tough league.
Yeah, who's usually the better program, Geneva or Geneva County?
Geneva
Geneva.
County. Well, both of them
Used to
pretty
be
good.
Geneva.
Yeah, that's right. But when they had Henderson, they.
Well, didn't they have who was the?
They have Friends safety too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, years ago, yeah. Okay, Pike County at Strawn. That's going to be a good one here. And this is the Kilcrease coach team against Hurt from Pike County.
the Kilcrease and the Lowry.
Yeah, that's right.
David and his two sons, Trey and. Golly, I can't
And
think of his
you
name.
know another fine young coach is
Free.
named Free. Yeah.
Jacob Free.
You know, Mike.
Strong is 4A or 5A?
4A, I would say
3A.
4A.
This is a region game for Pike
Yeah.
County.
Okay. All
I
right.
believe this is a 3A.
3A.
I believe it's
Where's the game being played?
At
At
Strawn.
I guess I'll go with Pike County.
You know what? Will the real Pike County please stand up? And I'm gonna take Pike County to upset. It'll be an upset against Strawn. Play that Strawn.
Well, you just don't know what the personnel's going
Yeah,
to be.
that's right.
If those personnel get added,
I think they are. This guy is the difference in the game. He is really an outstanding player.
I'm going to pick Strawn.
Pike County really did so much. The Charles Henderson being a jamboree, so I imagine they'll open the playbook.
He and Foster will probably score about 3 or 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
But
should
I'm
be a
still
good
going to
game.
pick Strawn.
But that's hey, listen, I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, before you get in your car and go to Strawn, you remember I said this, you got to want to go to Strawn. You got to want to go to Strawn.
It's not an easy place to find.
Or you can
It's
say,
a really nice hospital.
It's beautiful.
but let me tell you, but, I'll tell you what these Andalusia people and these Strawn people will do. They'll say, don't worry about the location, you'll find them. But Rose Hill, they'll say, go to Rose Hill and take a left or right. Well, Rose Hill is a hard enough place to find. You ever been to Rose Hill?
Dad, you don't realize there's a phone. It's called an iPhone. And
Yeah.
all you do is just type in a direction and it'll take you right there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's like a navigational device.
Okay.
The whole time.
Okay, it is 8:08, and hopefully all you school kids are in school right now. Number 19 on our list is Dale County at Carroll High School of Ozark. And look out, hey, all you Eagles. Hey, all you Eagles. We're talking to you Eagles, you Ozark Eagles, and that's who I'm going to take.
I missed some games. I'm on number 16.
Luverne at Geneva County.
Got that.
Pike County at Strawn. Yeah, we skipped. We didn't do 8, 9, and 10.
Oh, okay, okay.
I left those blank in case your dad or you
Had
wanted to
that,
add some college
yeah.
games up there. But we'll have a full slate next week.
What's the game? What's the game here?
Good.
There's
Well, I hate to be exciting about it, but
Breaking news.
that is breaking news, but at the same time, that shows me that
we can't
Okay.
say it.
all right. So that game will not be played. Will not go live. but-
Enterprise and Auburn will not be televised. We just heard that. The Auburn game hosting Enterprise will not be viewed, but Troy Cable will be at the Charles Henderson Mary Montgomery game.
Yeah, it will be
At
TV.
Veterans Stadium on the campus of Troy University. There's
So,
been a change.
so 7A Mary Montgomery High School of Sims, which is right outside of Mobile, goes up against Charles Henderson High School of Troy. So you folks that cannot make it out to the game tonight, you can tune in to TC2 and watch the game in its entirety.
Troy Cable, Channel 2 or 17, and the other game that will be televised will be Arrington at Highland Home.
And that game's coming up. Arrington at Highland Home, two very good football programs. Arrington has got the great quarterback, and it was featured in
Ian Sin.
but he was also featured in on our ESPN show. And
What was the last game we just had?
Dale County at Carroll Ozark.
yeah.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
But Arrington and Highland Home is the next one, and that's going to be a great game. And they're playing it down there in that pit. When you call it a pit, Forrest, what would you say? That stadium is way down in the bottom.
Out in the valley.
Valley so
The
low.
valley so low.
I'll take Holland home at home.
Well, let me just say this, Michael.
Holland home at home.
Well, let me tell you this. We got some great players. That Falk player is a great player at Highland Home. But listen, this quarterback, his name is Ian
Sin.
Sin. Remember that name, ladies and gentlemen? Ian Sin, the super fast quarterback at Arrington High School. And that's all I got to say about that. I'll take Arrington.
Everybody tells me these Falk brothers are so athletic. Holland Home's got a real good defense. I don't know if this guy could do a whole lot against Holland Home defense.
Well, hey, Michael, speed burns, speed kills. And I'm going to take Arrington. Who you going to take?
I'm gonna go with the fighting Will Pouncey.
All right, he's going to go with fighting Will Pouncey, and he's a good young coach.
So what's your score? That's the tiebreaker.
And now give us the score.
I got 28-12. Purple gas.
Holland Home, 21-13.
All right, I've got 34 to 24. Arrington over Highland Home.
I got Arrington 28, Highland Home 12, but there's two teams in this area that I'd love to see us win a state championship. One is Highland Home. They've never won one in football.
That's right.
And the other one is the Goshen Eagles.
And that game-
Everyone else
yeah.
around here has won at least one.